Hillary from the Nurse Preceptor channel. Welcome back. I really need to say this. There's just the time for being quiet is done. This is a video that's going to be largely targeted toward the nurses in the audience as well as any other healthcare providers, but I think primarily nurses are the ones who come to this channel. I have right here the American Nurses Association Scope and Standards of Practice, 2nd edition. Not the most exciting reading in the world, but these outline the scope and standards of practice that our professional organization holds us to as nurses. This video really serves to put nurses on notice, okay? I'm starting to see some behaviors on social media and out in the public that's starting to really piss me off as a professional because I think we can do so much better than this. I'm getting really mad when I see some of these social media posts coming out because I think that they're incredibly disruptive, divisive, and disrespectful. And I have an issue with that. So let me just read a couple of things. And I don't think that you're going to have to really use a lot of imagination to understand what exactly I'm talking about, because I've got a really good example I'm going to show you from my phone. And it's a Facebook post that I saw, I think last week. All right, so under Standards of Professional Performance, Standard 7 is ethics. The registered nurse practices ethically. Well, that includes upholding the individual's right to autonomy, which means they have the right to self-determination as long as they're competent. And as nurses, we don't get to make that call. Okay, people get to make their own decisions about their own bodies. Standard 9, evidence-based practice and research. The registered nurse integrates evidence and research findings into practice. That means you need to not just get talking points from your authoritative sources. Will you please start reading some of the research? Really start digging, you guys. There's a lot out there. A lot. And we're not looking at it. Standard 13, collaboration. The registered nurse collaborates with healthcare consumer, family, and others in the conduct of nursing practice. Collaboration means that you work with them. It doesn't mean that you're the authority and they're the one you have authority over. That's not what collaboration is, and that's not how we are supposed to practice. All right, page 20, nurses in advocacy and society. Advocacy is a fundamental aspect of nursing practice. And it goes on to tell a little bit about some of the different areas that nurses have been advocates for, including public health. So advocacy is a little bit different than activism. Advocacy, hang on. Reading straight from Merriam-Webster's dictionary, advocacy is the act or process of supporting a cause or proposal, or the act or process of advocating. Advocacy is different than the word activism, which it's a kind of nuanced difference, but it's very important. Activism is a doctrine or a practice that emphasizes direct, vigorous action, especially in support of or opposition to one side of a controversial issue. And I think we can all agree that there are maybe a few controversial issues right this second in healthcare, right? And it's of great concern to about half of the people out there. All right, standards of professional performance. Standard 7, ethics. I circled pretty much all of these. They are so applicable to what's going on right now. The registered nurse is supposed to have these competencies. Delivers care in a manner that preserves and protects healthcare consumer autonomy, dignity, rights, values, and beliefs. I am not seeing this happen right now. I'm seeing people violating these on a daily basis on social media. And it's not right. Some of them are people I taught in clinical. Some of them are people I worked alongside. And I can't believe it. People who should know better. Recognizes the centrality of the healthcare consumer and family as core members of any healthcare team. So that means that you've got to include them in decisions and you've got to respect their own ability to make their own decisions. Assists healthcare consumers in self-determination and informed decision-making. You are welcome to give your healthcare consumers information and your point of view. You're not doing the right thing by discounting what they say and refusing to at least validate what you are saying. Maintains a therapeutic and professional healthcare consumer-nurse relationship within appropriate professional role boundaries. And I would say putting something like this on Facebook that probably applies to 50 to 60% of your patients would be violating that very principle. I hope you can read it. It might be showing up backward. I'm not really sure. Yeah, highly offensive, and I think overly simplistic. Contributes to resolving ethical issues involving healthcare consumers, colleagues, community group system, and other stakeholders. So if you're trying to resolve the issues, that means that you're not trying to stir the pot and inflame people even more than has already been done very well by the media. Takes appropriate action regarding instances of illegal, unethical, or inappropriate behavior that can endanger or jeopardize the best interests of the healthcare consumer or situation. So if you see someone doing this kind of stuff, you need to intervene. Okay, enough. Speaks up when appropriate to question healthcare practice. When necessary for safety and quality improvement. Well, it's not always easy now, is it? No, we don't always get to hit the easy button. Sometimes our jobs require us to make really tough decisions and say things that might be unpopular and question things that we have questions about. Sometimes we need to openly ask some of these questions. I get very concerned when I see nobody questioning anything. People are just taking the authorities' point of view and talking points and just running right along with them, not questioning a single thing and not updating their research and knowledge base based on brand new information coming out, maybe from other places. But you have to look beyond the media to get your own opinion and to make sure that you are actually on the right side of an issue. I think that maybe I've made myself clear, but I want you nurses, all of you, you need to behave ethically. You guys really are going to lose the trust of so many people in the community. You are going to wreck the awesomeness of our profession if you continue to try to bully and coerce people and shame people who maybe are just asking questions that need to legitimately be asked at this point in time. All right. Unlike some people who seem to think the science is settled, as far as I'm concerned, the science is never settled. Oh my gosh, there are so many things that I learned back in nursing school that have since we've moved on from that. We've moved on to new ways of thinking about things and conceptualizing certain issues. To think that any science is ever 100% settled is just one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. And you guys really should be inspired to question even more if you hear an authoritative source saying something like that. The science is not settled. Not by a long shot. All right. And I guess I would really appreciate nurses from just restraining themselves a little bit and not posting things like that are extremely overly simplistic and insulting and just disrespectful. Okay, let's stop doing that. Let's hold ourselves to a slightly higher standard. All right. Until next time, I will see you. Please come back every day this month. I'm going to have new videos about National Preparedness Month, and I'm going to be touching on a number of different healthcare issues and help us all to become a little bit more cognizant and to better prepare ourselves for whatever may come in our future. All right, this is the Nurse Preceptor signing off. See you next time. Bye.